of Avas Foundation to address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aishwarya. Hello, everyone. I would like to extend a hearty welcome to everyone for joining the Pride Month webinar. Gay Pride or LGBT Pride is the promotion of the self-affirmation, dignity, equality, and increased visibility of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people as a social group. Pride, as opposed to shame or social stigma, is the predominant outlook that bolsters most LGBT rights movement. We are happy to organize this event today and having been promote this very issue which is existing. I would also like to thank our title sponsor, Mr. Sarthak Sharma from Caplots, a specially curated fashion brand for their support and help. I would, from my heart, like to welcome Faisal Khan, also known as Faizi Boo, as our guest speaker for having been able to take out time from his busy schedule and join us here today. Over to you.
Hello,
Yeah,
am I audible?
yeah, you're audible. You're audible.
Hi guys, good evening to one and all. Thank you so much, Laiba. And I have always been a person who was very inquisitive to share my thoughts on what I feel and what exactly LGBT stands for, and it's not exactly what people have it in their mind, because there are a lot of myth, that people have, that okay, it must be this or it must be that. So I'm here because a lot of us, in spite of being educated, we have somewhere down the line a lot of questions where we ourselves don't really know. Like even I myself knew about it once I came in the community full-fledged. So if any of you guys have any questions or want to throw or shoot any questions on me, feel free, and I'm here to answer everything. And in case if you want to know something about my life, I'm very open. I can share my incidents as well with you guys.
We would definitely want to hear your incidents. I mean, how did you start, and how was your career impediment? I mean, how did it promote you to also be a part of MTV Ace of Space? We would love to hear that from you.
So, my life has been really like God has been really kind to me, and I think the grass was always greener on my side, according to me, because even what people thought that it could be my flaw, I used it as my strength and as my power, and I kept going on. I had not stopped thinking, oh my God, what they would say or what they would feel. It was more for me what I will feel, what I want, because this is what is important. Tomorrow, if you die, people will just come to your funeral, cry for 2 minutes, and they will forget about you. I would never want my soul, even after my death, to feel, oh my God, I never lived my life. I don't want to be on my deathbed for last 30 seconds where the flashbacks are hitting on my head to think, I wish I would have done that. I wish that, I could have taken that decision and it would have been a complete different story today. So similarly, I started my career at a very young age. I was 14 and a half, where I was a dropout. I had dropped out my 10th standard. And from my 10th, I, started working in a makeup store. I was approached upfrontly because I'm a shopaholic. Like I cannot live without shopping, and especially makeup. And like I'm sure your girls and you all know, even the highlighters has to be highlighters and just not a highlighter. So similarly, shopaholic person, and every people in Palladium knew me and loved me. Then how a 14-year-old coming with the sunglasses, entering a shop and buying things. So I started my career when I was 14 and a half. Then I was approached by a brand called MAC, which is a Canadian brand, which leads almost 80% of the cosmetic industry. When I left MAC, I was the youngest MAC artist in the whole world. Like wherever MAC is, I was the youngest. I was 15 and a half when I had joined MAC. And I was their youngest resident trainer for West India. I was 16 when I was promoted as a resident trainer. Then I left MAC because I cannot just be stuck at one place, you know. I have to like keep going on. And that's what kept me, that's why I think I'm here with you guys. Because if I would have still been in sales, I wouldn't have met y'all. Y'all wouldn't have knew who Fezzibu is, you know, besides if you're a Mac lover. So I left that and I had joined a salon because I was done with retail and I wanted to explore more. So I was like, let me try something different out of the box. Like not that similar customer walking, showing a red lipstick or telling them to buy it or it looks good. I thought this time I just want to work because I'm an artist. I don't want to sell. I'm not a salesperson. I'm an artist. In my childhood, I've been a painter, dancer, an extrovert. So, and a Barbie lover, you can say. So I was more of a person, and I had joined a brand called Desange, which is a French brand. I was a trainer for Desange for almost half a year. And then I did not like that because it was more of less of artistry, more of, you know, catching the clients and painting their faces. So I had joined Nykaa, and with Nykaa, I had within I think 3 months I became the face for a brand called Wet n Wild. I was the first guy who was on Vogue without a celebrity background. I was the first guy who was on Cosmopolitan India digitally, and I had become a face for the brand Wet n Wild, which is a LA-based brand. And similarly, I was like, okay, I'm a face, and you know, I have a Instagram, no, a YouTube character called Dr. Daddy Delicious, a doctor who knows it all, you know. So from that, I was like, okay, now this is fun and all of that. What happened once suddenly, I'm a party person, like I told you guys, I party. Well, I don't see days, I see moods. If today I feel like partying, I will go. I don't see Mondays don't suck in my case. I rock Mondays as well. So I had directly, I still remember there was a cute little girl. She came up to me. She said, "You're Fezzi Boo, right? I've seen you on YouTube." I said, "Oh, really? I never saw myself." So she's like, "You know, you should be on television." I said, "Why not?" And she had just taken my number and I was approached for Big Boss. And I was like, I cannot stay without my mom for like 100 days, yeah. Like imagine in my head, I was like, okay, I will go also 100 days. So I was like, I can never live without my mother for like 100 days. So they, after 5, 6 months, I had got an offer for Ace of Space, where they did not interview me because they had seen how dramatic Dr. Daddy Delicious is. That means you just cannot act that delicious. You know, that person has that character in him. That's why he is so relatable. And yeah, I was in Ace of Space. I was a fourth finalist. And then I came out the second year, I hosted it digitally. I hosted a red carpet event. And then I hosted Box Cricket League. I did a cameo in Ragini MMS. And yeah, I'm here.
It's great to hear such an inspirational story, believe you me, because somewhere or the other, I think all of us, want to achieve that, one thing, which makes us stand out of the whole crowd. And believe you me, you're that one person who really inspires us, irrespective of the
Thank
fact
you
that
so much.
this is a Pride month, and irrespective of the fact that we are having a discussion, about Pride movements and so on and so forth. It is more important for all of us to understand that, um, you know, we are actually getting inspired by you, by the story. And it's not that
Thank you.
there's ever a thought that, any one of us will give up, or because nobody wants to give up. But then there is a point of time, there is a level of saturation which comes up, and then a person is like, oh my god, no, I can't do it. Right. So this should never come, and that is very, very much evident from your story. So how was your experience at MTV Ace of Space? Just wanting to know out of curiosity.
It was, like I always say, like imagine entering because I'm a very curious person. I changed. Touch wood, I never worked for bread and butter. That's why people loved me because whatever I did, I had my 100% in it. I I think I'm too creative for a 9 to 5. So I never thought of directly going, taking a bag and walking and saying, "Hi, sir, this is Faiz. You want to please take it?" No, I used to be always very excited. So, imagine you have a very bad day. You enter a store and there is a positive and a very strong energy waiting for you and says, "Hey, what's up?" And then suddenly you forget what was hitting your head before entering the store. And you're like, "Oh my God." And I think my good looks have really worked for me. Girls have really been, telling me that you're very charming and like you're very cute. And imagine a cute guy telling me, "Oh, that red lipstick looks really hot." And then suddenly they come to me, "Oh, do you even have a boyfriend?" And that's like, okay, extra cookies for that. So, Ace of Space had been a like really life changing for me because from retail, I was always touched wood. Alhamdulillah, I had always been a personality who got attention wherever I was. You know, like I was just walking on the road, that people used to just come up to me, and my friend, who's my best friend, he always say, "People come and click pictures with you because you're so extra white." I said, "Excuse me, what do you mean by extra white? I'm not Casper the Ghost." So I was never gaga over fame. I was very gaga over the adventure of meeting new people. Because Big Boss, somewhere in our head, it was like it is more scripted. People are very like fake or celebrities or try to act smart. And I was a diva myself. Like they don't call me a queen for no reason. So imagine when I went and the host himself said, "Hi, cute Faisal," and I'm like, "Really? Am I cute? Vikas Gupta? Like, you really find me cute?" Then yes, I am. So I had made new friends. I made a friend for life whose tattoo is like on my heart. This is for Danish Zen. If you all know him,
Yes,
the Fambro Army.
yes.
So we had discussed that, Danish, if you go out, since you have so many tattoos, you will get a tattoo by the name of Fezzi, and then I will roam on the bike with you. Okay? He's not here, he's at a better place. I said, I'll keep the promise. On the Valentine, I had got the tattoo done. So, you know, a bond like that to be made in a show for a few days, getting connected, and, just like now they are a part of my life, like a major part of my life. Now they are a part who I have stories to tell about, you know. So it has taught me that, the importance of family, the importance of friends, the importance of someone being there. Like, there were a lot of people who used to like say bullshit about him and all of that. I realized that, it was a loss for me, for the whole Fambro army, for my friends, my family who had met him. There are people who have not met him yet. It was a loss for them. So, somewhere I connected to the LGBT as well, that you don't know what they're going through. You've just seen them. You don't know the story behind it. So don't be so quick to judge. And a place that I came out from, and then suddenly I realized that, family is one of the most important place to be at, and good food is for life, and our freedom, because they say that, there are people who say, "Oh, I am gay, but I've just told my family and not anyone else." Like my family said, "It's okay, you told us, but don't say it to the society." I feel it, a golden cage is still a cage. How can you be in a gold cage and say that, "Okay, I'm happy"? No, you're not. You need freedom. You need to be happy, and you need to get out and live your life the way you want. So yeah, I can keep going on and on. So you guys like really have to shoot questions.
No, but you know what, Matlab, one thing I would definitely want you to know that you're very cute, and
Thank you.
and I think all of us feel the same. Um, and again, I mean, these small things, it may have been a little hindering for you at a point of time, and you would have been like, "Oh my God, now what do I do?" But
Yeah.
then you actually have overcome all of these things, and now here you are. And
Yeah.
before being anything, I think a person needs to be a good human, right? And for that, um,
That's the key of success and life.
Right. And good human in terms of an individual, what you are to your family, to your friends. And this actually is very much evident, as I also mentioned before. You've gotten a tattoo, and we all know who Danish is. And believe me, we all keep him in our prayers. But
Yeah.
promise you've kept, it actually is very synonymous to, saying that we don't make promises, but we give assurances because promises are made to be broken. Now you are that one person who actually negates that very statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, right. We'll quickly take up questions. Is there anyone who has a question? Bhavanshi.
Bhavyanshi Dubey.
Bhavanshi.
Hello, sir. It's really a pleasure to listen to you. Here, I follow you on Instagram. I'm like, okay, this, that, and seeing you here, it is really a pleasure.
How
So,
sweet, Bhavyanshi.
so my question is that, as you just told that there were some hindrances in your life that you faced while coming out of the closet, and seeing India, it is sort of, we are developing, but it is still a closet, it is still a golden cage that we are in. So what are the discriminations and prejudices that you faced, and you would like to advise people that this will be coming on your way, but you need to react in that way which can make them move on with their lives? So what will be those
Yeah.
advices, and what will be those points that you might give to people?
So first of all, Bhavyanshi, the thing is that how much confident I am in my skin is the first thing which is super important. Like there are a lot of people, like my own mother, she can never wear a red lipstick because she's not confident. But then there are my other, like let's say my friend's mom, they can wear a black lipstick and walk out and own that shit. Once, if you wear high heels and cannot walk, of course, people will have something to say. But if you walk it and work it, they will just say it like, wow, how can she do it that well? So if I am myself and comfortable and confident, there won't be anyone who will have anything to tell me because they know how comfortable I am. Like right now, I'm wearing this. I could have worn a dress as well and be the same confident person I am. But I don't have style. I have more of my moods. I will wear what I move, what mood I am in. So similarly, like I told you that in my case, the grass has always been greener on my side. Is because the looks. People never thought I was Indian. Second, they always wanted to be my friend, then to hate me. But then there are people, who look very Indian or doesn't have the high fashion, you know, uh, mentality, or who cannot do fashion because of, let's say, financial issues or family issues or whatsoever. So to them, you whatsoever you are, if someone is saying anything, like for example, if I'm walking by the street and if someone would say, oh my god, he's so gay, I am. You call me straight, you say, oh my god, he's so manly, I will be offended. No, like if someone will call me Barbie, I'll be happy. Don't call me Superman. I'm not Superman. I'm a Wonder Woman. So own it. Like, and babe, honestly, we are living in a country where we are being discriminated for everything we are. You're fat, thin, fair, dark, hairy, good hair, bad hair, from princess. People call you, my God, you look like a Barbie doll, so plastic, so fake. And if you don't get fillers done, oh my God, you look like a ghost, you look like Annabelle. So, people will always have something or the other to tell you. It's you who has to be the one and say, well, I think it still looks better than yours. Let's discuss about you now. And that's when they will shut up. Like if there was an incident, I remember, like, how these neighbors are. So they're like, oh my God, you wear heels? You wear these? Are these ladies? I said, no, they're girls. She kept her mouth shut. Is it from women's section? No, it's from the girls section. I'm very young. I'm still 16 in my head. So that's how you have to shut them up. Because in today's generation, if you don't teach people how to shut their mouth, they will forget their limit of talking. So be it good or bad. If they say Like if you compliment me, I'll say thank you, right? So if you're bitching about me, how do you expect me to just walk off? I don't believe that idea of, oh, just ignore if someone is saying this. No, I don't ignore if someone is saying positive things to me. How the hell am I going to ignore it when they get negative? I'm going to punch their face, make them black and blue, give them a dark smoky eyes for at least 4 days and come back. Because I work out and get away heels. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
So we'll take up another question. Is there anyone who wishes to ask a question? They can raise their hand, not virtually, please, over here. Right. So we have Shubhika. Yes, Shubhika. Go ahead.
Hello, sir. Like it's an honor
Hi.
for me.
Please call me Faizi. First of all, Shubhika, please call me Faizi.
Sorry.
Don't make me feel aged. We all are young here, youngsters, you know.
Hello,
Hi.
Faizi.
Hi, Shubhika.
How did you cope up with the how did you cope up with the rejection and discrimination in the society?
See, like I just answered Bhaganshi's question, but Shubhika, unless and until if we don't be the change, you know, discrimination happens everywhere, whether it's work, whether it's home, you know, all mothers, they love their children. But if even the mother has one favorite child, you know, so discrimination is everywhere. Okay. You need to love yourself that much so that you can make others love you. Because what I believe is, if I can't love myself, how the hell I'm going to love somebody else? You know, like you need to fall in love with yourself first, then only people will fall in love with you.
That's very, very true. Because I mean, I can relate it to myself. If you don't love yourself, there'll be no one around you, you know, who's gonna love you. And that's
Yeah.
very, very true.
Because when you love yourself, that's when you know your power. But when you hate yourself, even if you're sitting in Interior, you will think that you are the poorest person on planet Earth. You know.
True. Right. So we'll have the next question from Miss Vaishnavi Sinha. She's from India today.
Okay.
Hi, Faizi.
Hi, Vaishnavi.
I hope you're being safe.
I am hoping the same for you.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, being in the entertainment industry, being a media personality, it opens you up to a very large crowd. And a couple of minutes ago, you said that, you don't ignore the criticism that you get, just like you don't ignore the compliments.
Yeah.
But being open to such a huge crowd, there are a lot of people who are negative on social media these days.
Yeah.
So how do you cope with that?
See, social media, Vaishnavi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vaishnavi, first of all, see, what I meant by I don't ignore if someone is complimenting me was a one-on-one. Like, if I'm walking by the street and if there is someone acting smart and acting negative or saying anything negative, that's when I react. On social media, first of all, I don't have so much time to see the positive or the negative. Yet I still go on and I, send them hearts or something like that. And the negative ones, honestly, when there is so much love flowing, the negative just gets diluted, and you have to just sometimes they say that, if you cannot ignore what is being seen, because, Mr. Mukesh Ambani has given free Jio and God has given 2 thumbs. So all these losers with their fake account, they will come and just type anything, because if it's a real personality, that's when I would want to speak one-on-one. But imagine if there is some picture of mountain commenting me and talking about my sexuality and talking how much makeup I've worn on my face. What will I reply? Listen, you bitch mountain, you have no idea. No, I don't want to waste my energy on that. I would rather just look at the comments which I've got by the people who love me. I can reply back. In that time, I would use, because of my social media, which is so engaged most of the time, I would want to engage with more of the lovers than haters. And see, if I have no haters, I will feel I'm not doing anything right. Because, you know, even lovers get boring after a point of time. So I like the spice that comes into the life, you know. Even through social media, so I'm like quite okay with the social media hitting me with bad comments.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Faizi. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi. Right. So is there anyone else who would like to? Okay, Vedant. Yeah, please go ahead.
Vedant.
Hi Fazzy, how are you?
Hey Vedant, I'm good. Hoping the same for you.
Yeah, just a very small question.
Tell me.
How did you feel when Article 377 was removed, and do you think it helped people embrace their identity?
Honestly, Vedant, you know, people within the community, like I have said this in many of my interviews, पहले मैं out था, अब मैं outrageous हूँ. So when the thing got out, I think the people from the LGBT community never cared about who the hell, whether there are, you know, laws or anything. They would just be themselves. And if anyone, because see, we are sassy, classy, and massy. So we can give you all the three things if you want, you know. We have the class and mass in us. And if you want, they will call for it. And that's why they get abused, beaten up, or bashed. Because see, what happens is, it got us very close to the motive we were fighting for the longest time. Because, you know, we were going to be according to the foreign law. And in abroad, this law has been passed 100 years ago. But in India, we are still fighting for the same thing, the same marriage. I feel that's what you're talking about, right? The 377. So that has got people more powerful. Like, you know, it was like the spinach for the Popeye to fight more. It was just like that for me. I think the Popeye was still the Popeye. So yeah, I hope that's what.
That's
I
good.
hope my answer
Yes,
gave
yes.
you.
That's the best part of this is initially I was out and then I was outrageous.
Yeah, like this was the interview for Ace of Space. They asked me like, "Oh, when did you realize? Or when did you tell your parents?" I said, "Pehle मैं out था, मैं outrageous हूँ." Like that's what when I told my parents, the law did not had any changes in my life. To be honest, my life got changed when I came up to my family, and when they supported me for me being me, you know, and not when what the person in the Lok Sabha thinks about me or my dressing. It did not matter to me. You know, I don't even care what my neighbors are thinking. What will I think? What the government is thinking? I would just wear heels, wear a lipstick, rock it.
बात तो सही है.
Yeah.
So apt. But there's one thing I want to know. So did you ever like when you were there on MTV Ace of Space, like in the show, did you ever feel like segregated or like did that feeling ever come up in you? That because obviously, I mean, if there are so many people, did you ever feel that they were trying to oppose you because
Never, never. I'm telling you. I was known as Mr. Congeniality. Everyone loved me. You know, the host himself always used to say that that's Mr. Congeniality. People will come and love him for the person he is. And in the entire show, I never had a fight because of the person I was or because anyone discriminated. Instead, I fought for people. And those were the baddest fight where I tore my t-shirt and ran to hit people and all of that. So you know what happened? The mentality for people is, oh, he's from the LGBT community. He must be very weak or very fragile. You know, that's why I said I look like Barbie, but I'm a Wonder Woman, so I can fight back. I don't need someone to come and support or fight for me. No, God has given me enough strength, and I'm an Afghani boy. I'm 6 feet tall. I can punch and make any hetero guy black and blue. So I was never worried about the security. Yeah, so no one would dare to oppose because imagine 6 feet tall, yet we're 6 inches stilettos. I was almost taller than the ceilings over there. What anyone would come and mess with me? So yeah. And they say that I always say that my strongest muscle in my body is my tongue. I can please and tease at the same time. And if anybody acts smart, I can make them bleed also at the same time, just with my tongue. So, yeah.
That's very correct. In fact, ये बिल्कुल सही बात है. The strongest muscle in our body is our tongue.
A tongue. You can win hearts. Imagine you don't like me. Oh my God. I wish I could say the same. I really like you. End of the story, you suddenly plant a love seed in their heart. That, oh my God, why am I hating this person? What has he done to me? It's like that. So I think I can never hate anybody. So I think that's why people don't hate me. They might just don't like me. No one can hate me. Because to hate me, you have to start loving me first. Then that's when you hate me.
So true. I can relate to that. Believe me. I can so much relate to that. Right. So we'll be taking one last question from Manmeen. Manmeen, please go ahead.
Manmeen
call.
Yeah. Hi. I'm so sorry. My network connection is a bit glitchy, so I can't turn my video on. It's been lovely to hear you. Trust me. You just won me. You're just super cute. So I just had this one question.
Thank you.
Recently there was this talk about this this Chief Justice who tried to go to a psychologist and try and understand the nuances of same-sex marriages and people living in living together here in India. So there was like a very, very extreme opinions about this. People from who were not a part of the LGBTQ community thought this was as a progressive move. But whereas I had many friends who opined that this is not what as progressive as it seems, because this is about basic humanity, that people should be allowed what they do. So I just wanted to know your opinion on the same. So where do you stand among that?
Honestly, Manmeen, I'll tell you one thing. See, I respect, to be very honest. When people have questions, like I will share a small story about one of my friends. He said that, I came out to my parents and they don't really want me. I said, understand. They don't understand that. We have become so selfish in today's generation. We all want to be understood. No one wants to understand. Understand where they are coming from. Like imagine from today on, 50 years back, who would knew about LGBT? People within the community don't know that there is LGBTQIA++. It can go on.
Yes.
People think that there are only in Pride Rainbow there are 7 colors. Well, it's 6. Not a lot of people know that. And people who belong from the community don't know that. So just going up and saying, "Hey mom, listen, I belong from the LGBT community," or "Hey mom, I'm gay," will give them a shock.
Yeah.
Understand? Even your parents, they must have dreamt your marriage with their brother's daughter or your mother or their sister's daughters, I don't know, whosoever. So you need to explain them. Don't just go up to them, because what happens is people think, oh, my child is gay. That means he wants to become a transgender. So this is the basic thought that people have it in their head. If he's gay, he wants to become a transgender. No, explain it to them. That, mom, this is what it is. This is who I am. This is what I want to be. When I came up to my mom, she also took me to a psychologist. And I don't know to who all. They thought there was black magic and all of that. I let them go and take me. I went with them. What happened? Everyone gave them the answer that it's my choice. It's me. Unless and until if I don't want it, no one can force it. So people, I think we need to understand where they are coming from. Because no one can just hate you for no reason. They might just don't understand it. And like I said, that the person has to really love you to hate you. They just don't understand it. So they just want to say anything. And like I said, 2 thumb and free Jio. That's why even I think Mukesh Ambani also started charging for Jio, that now you have to pay. You have to get recharged for else, because people are going bonkers and they were writing anything and everything.
So I must say that you have like a very different way of speaking, and that you just, the examples that you quote just are like super.
Yeah, because see, that's why I
Yeah.
said, look, I have never learned makeup. That's why I was an artist. I was just
Yeah.
not a makeup artist. I was an artist. You
Mhm.
know, I have never studied law that I can give you those robotic answers. I will give you answers according to my experiences. And when I don't know, I'll shut up or I'll use my brains. I'll just connect, collage, and that's how I will present my answers to you or push the envelope. Because when I don't know, I will just keep my mouth shut, which is very rare. I don't keep my mouth shut. I make people shut up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're most welcome, Manjeet. So
Right.
yeah, it was so lovely talking to you guys. Yeah,
It's
I really enjoyed it thoroughly.
same here. In fact, again, I mean, I would like to reiterate this statement that, talking to you made us feel confident, and irrespective of the fact that, you were an LGBT Q youth icon, it's very important for us to, overcome difficulties to achieve anything in our life, right? And haters are gonna hate. That's like a matter of fact. And we
The
can't.
haters hate you. I'm so sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Haters will hate you because they know that you can achieve it. That's one of the more positive thing which was in my head. Every time I walked by wearing heels, because I come from a very Muslim, society. My father is an Afghani, where boys are not allowed to wear shorts. Imagine I wear lipsticks and heels. So you can imagine. But when they knew that, okay, he has the ability. Like once I had seen that Karan Johar had told this to Vivek Oberoi, that you have the ability to become Shah Rukh Khan, but your problem is you think you're Shah Rukh Khan. People are not working for the betterment. They get comfortable with what they are and where they are. You have to keep going on. Like if I would have still been at Mac, like I said in the beginning, I would have never met you all. We have to keep going on. People kept hating me for leaving the job. I kept hearing from my family that, oh, why are you doing this? How will you earn? I kept going on. And from a sales person to an artist, I have become a celebrity. Do follow your heart because vibes will never lie. People might lie, but vibes will never. Energy can never be wrong. The universe is always telling you something. And my friend Pratik Sehpal was in the show. He always told me one thing: men don't make situation make men. Similarly, the situation, because of the situation, we are we, and the experience will make you intelligent. I think books have never been my case, or else imagine a 10th dropout would have never been here, attending college, being the guest and judge for college events.
That's really, I mean, inspirational for all of us. I'm sure that there'll be no, and I before anything, I would like to thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule, because
Most welcome.
that there are so many things lined up, and it becomes really difficult for you to take out time. But then
Yeah.
the whole Avaz Foundation, from our hearts.
I will share this with y'all, which has to be an unofficial thing. It is my first cousin's wedding in next 1 hour. So yeah, and I'm not even ready. But I was like, no, it's for the community. I have to do it. So yeah, and
But-
she's my childhood best friend.
I'm sure that you're gonna ace it, because first you're very good with makeup. We all know that, and we all know that you worked with great companies. So I mean, I don't think that you will take a lot of time to get ready. Though we all know that.
No. Just a chapstick and I'm done.
Great. Ishwarya, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Laiba. I would like to extend a hearty vote of thanks to our guest speaker for such an enriching and entertaining webinar. It was really nice talking to you and listen to you.
Likewise, guys.
Last but not the least, I would also like to thank all the attendees for participating in this webinar. And I really hope that you all take back something helpful from the webinar. So thank you all once again and have a great day.
Guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week, year, day. Enjoy, and always remember what you think matters, not what the world thinks. We are born to stand out, not to fit in. Always remember. Okay, with
Thank-
that, I would take a leave. Bye bye, Laiba.
Bye.
Bhavya.